Welcome back to Blueprints, my friends. We are on day 40 of this wonderful run. So yesterday we solved the Ares Court puzzle, which just brought up the gravestone to give us another Ares Court puzzle. This one we need to find more clues for the acrostic. We know it says castle going down, so the first row is CIX. Second row is AD, we don't know the third letter. Third row is SI, don't know the third letter. Fourth row is TO, we don't know the third letter. The fifth row is LO, we don't know the third letter. And the last row is ETT. No clue what that spells. CIX, AD, SI, TO, LO, ETT. No idea. So we're going to need to find where the other letters are. And as I was looking through, like, where the other ones are, I found them in my other playthrough. I've done this puzzle before. I think there's a room that we have not seen the letters on before that'll help us. There's another place that we can't really get to at this point in time. We also have the vault puzzles we can do. We would need to find a vault key, of course, which kind of comes down to luck. So I'm going to first head out here. I'm going to draft the entrance hall from the outdoors and then hope for a hammer today. Maybe instead of going for blue rooms today, I go for green rooms because they tend to have items in them. Like courtyards could have hammers. What else? Is there any way I can guarantee that vault key connection yet? I can also look for the drafting studio, try to get the rest of the rooms, because there's still 3 to go here, and there's a missing one. We'll see, we'll see. We'll just start by heading out, grabbing what we can. Let's grab this. Don't know why I picked the lock trunk over the gem. That was silly. Workshop there, because I'll want to make something, I assume. Dead end here is fine. Items or steps? We'll probably get steps and an item here. That's my guess. Oh, there's the key card that I didn't get because I didn't end the break room yesterday. That worked out really well for me, so now I don't have to worry about it. Hammer would be great, so I don't want green rooms. Best way to get them is actually to just set myself up to get them. I haven't been really doing that. Probably should have set that up earlier. So let me do that now. Okay, sure, car keys. Spare green room's great there. It does have an item in it. It's a broken lever, which is, you know, not that exciting right now. Aquarium. I could do 2 spare green rooms in a row. Who would stop me? There's the shovel. Cool. So at this point, if I see a courtyard, there's a pretty good chance of a hammer. Greenhouse. Oh, now I want that power hammer thing to happen if I get this. More likely to draw green rooms. I'm already plenty likely to draw them. Shovel. I could just use the broken lever here, but we'll come back to that. Gems. Nothing. Hey, there's the hammer. So we're going to head out and do the entrance hall bit. I can show you that their outer rooms sometimes have special things in them. Now, to get the power hammer, I would need to find a battery pack, which could be in the workshop. I could just have it now. That could be the end of that trek this early in the run. Silver key's fine. Alright, so it's probably going to give me green rooms here that I don't really care for. Archives Corridor is the best bet there. I don't want to go that way yet. I'm going to check to see if there's a battery pack in here. Hey! Let's make the power hammer, and we can go to the greenhouse and take care of that. I think with this knocking down of the greenhouse, we pretty much will have taken care of all the power hammer locations in the game. Also, I didn't really need to make it a power hammer out here, I don't think. That'd be wild if you needed it to be a power hammer out in the entrance hall. But yeah, since the entrance hall is the vases that I've already broken, they're fixed out here, which means we can break them again. Now, it's not going to have a microchip because we're already using all the microchips, but we can get something else. No, not in that one. This one. There we go. Allowance token. Neat. Now, most rooms, as I said last time, will not have a special thing that is out in the outer room versus when you make it in the house, but the entrance hall does. Some of them, there's actually a couple that'll like give you some kind of clue that you would normally not pick up on, but it's pretty obscure. We're gonna want something else eventually. So now let's go to the greenhouse and use the power hammer, see what we get there. I wonder how I'm ever gonna get like those vault keys. It just seems random. And we have another room here. The gardener's logbook. Notice we have some cutouts of like newspaper clippings, correspondence envelopes that are red. Gardener's log, 1990 to when I get fired. The original. She loves me, she loves me not, she loves me, she loves me not. This is a record of my many indiscretions and lapses of judgment. Should this logbook ever be found, know that my guilt is exceeded only by my failings. Okay. As the groundskeeper of a vast estate, it is my responsibility to ensure the property remains well maintained and beautiful all year round. From the many green rooms of the manor to the sprawling lawns, it is my duty to attend to every aspect of the grounds, ensuring they are orderly, presentable, and accessible, so that they may be appreciated by both guests and the family. That would be the day. This logbook, many years overdue, will serve as a record of some of my duties, discoveries, and contributions I have made to the estate over the many years I have served here as groundskeeper, and however many more are yet to come. Not many, apparently. Denny Ravane. Okay, so this is Denny's book. He was the groundskeeper before he was fired, and Robert Nagula took over. Supposedly, Denny was stealing mail. February 25th, 1990. A few months ago, I made a truly remarkable discovery in my role of Mount Holly horticulturist. Through years of breeding and experimentation, I successfully created a new species of flower with a fruit that resembles a gemstone in every detail. Although the fruit is not edible, it is nevertheless a marvel of nature, possessing all the beauty and brilliance of a genuine jewel, but with the added benefit of being entirely organic. Despite the creation of this flower being my proudest accomplishment to date, my joy was slightly curbed when I was informed by Randolph Moore that my employer's company, Cinca, had decided to deny my request to announce my discovery to the public, completely disregarding my years of hard work and dedication to this project. This decision was absolute rubbish. I have poured my heart and soul into this project, investing countless hours of research and experimentation to create something truly extraordinary. I feel this flower has the potential to make a significant impact on the field of horticulture, and it feels like such a waste to keep a gem like this hidden away for, quote, further research. As I suspected, they wanted the flower to serve primarily as a cheap way to produce resources for special floor plans. October 21st of 1990, I had high hopes for the logbook, but I have struggled to find a reason to add another entry. My employer's decision earlier this year has left me feeling disheartened, and I find it difficult to find the motivation to continue in my work. I am aware that my disappointment is affecting my performance, and I am reminded of that daily when I see the houseplant slowly dying as I make my rounds. Perhaps I should quit. I really, really should have. So it seems like all the red pen stuff was added afterwards. So, yeah. January 8th of 91, my ambition has been reignited. I overheard, perhaps with some prodding, that the employee contracts for the staff are kept within the Baron's private office on the 10th rank. A fact that I found quite remarkable, considering the house only has 9 ranks. This all but confirms the long-held suspicion that the rumored 46th room is, in fact, north of the antechamber. A suspicion that I had always considered too obvious to be plausible. As much as I wish to abandon all pretense of caring about my job to focus on this new project, I fear I must resume my gardening duties for the sake of appearances. It has, after all, been a long time since the north side of the house has received the groundskeeper's undivided attention. Let's trim the hedges and see what we find. January 11th, 91. If there is a 10th rank, it is impossible to perceive its existence from the outside. So if it does exist, then I'm going to assume that reaching it can only be done through the antechamber. Sadly, security has only gotten tighter in the years after Mary's disappearance, and that room is no longer locked behind regular doors that can be opened by regular keys. No, that would be too easy. Instead, the Baron had remote access levers installed in several different rooms of the house. Funny enough, I already know the location of 3 of these levers, as one was recently installed in the greenhouse and another 2 were installed in the secret garden. It's almost like they were choosing green rooms just to tempt me. Great Hall, greenhouse, we already know this stuff. It appears each antechamber door has one primary access lever in addition to a redundancy at another location. So Mechanarium for the secret garden for the Great Hall, and weight room for the greenhouse. Those are the secondary levers. And then for the north side, we have the inner sanctum as well as the throne room. Both of those give access to the north door. March 10th. Although these past few months of exploration have yet to yield the fruit I seek, I have in that time gained a much greater mastery of the estate, and have stolen many glimpses behind the black curtain that veils her many secrets. Among the more exciting of my recent finds was the discovery of a hidden chamber in one of the outer rooms sealed shut behind a false wall. The stale quality of the air and the unmistakable aroma of corroded metal led me to believe this chamber has remained sealed for many decades. Within it I found a large vat and a copper still, their time-worn surfaces streaked with creeping veins of oxidation and rust. So that's, if you don't recognize what a still is for like rum running and that kind of stuff, then this at least tells you. This was in the trading post. I am unsure if these instruments can be restored to working condition, but if they can, I may yet find a use for the sugar beets and potato stores rotting away in the root cellar. Resealed in January after deal in Reddington fell through. August 4th, 1991. At last I have finally discovered a location of one of the north levers. It is deep underground at a location so far removed from any of the estate's plant life that had I been discovered, I would have been completely vulnerable without any excuse but curiosity to offer to my captor. As anxious as I was to pull it, I have decided to wait until the Baron is away, as it reduces the risk of being caught significantly, and once he leaves, I don't think that a delay in returning will be too hard to engineer now that Kristoff is under my thumb and beholden to do whatever I command. Sinclair's Inner Sanctum. August 15th. Well, there's no turning back now. After finally reaching the objective I'd been working toward for the last 4 months, I made an impulsive decision in the heat of the moment and took more than just my contract. I found something that I knew could give me the chance to make back some of the money I felt was owed to me, and I grabbed the opportunity without really considering the consequences. Given that there is now only one missing file in the staff contracts, I have unwittingly left an incriminating trail leading directly back to me, and my only hope is they consider it too obvious to be plausible. I'm almost positive I'm not going to get away with it, but at this point I feel I owe it to myself to get what's coming to me one way or another. And that's it. So this book isn't giving us any new information to solve a puzzle. Maybe if you find this book early, you'll learn that the north thing is down in the Sinclair's Inner Sanctum, but that's about all. It just tells the story of Denny Ravane, because we know he's the guy that got fired, but we don't know what for. So it appears he worked here, and who knows, maybe he was a super cool dude who loved working at his job. Maybe he was kind of a freeloader, whatever the case. He eventually discovered how to make the gem flowers like what we saw in here. He made those. Great. After making them, Randolph Moore and, well, the company that they all work for here said you can't release this information to the public. And Denny seems to think it's all about just making things for special floor plans. So he gets kind of pissed off. He decides he's going to get his revenge somehow. He hates working here now, whatever. So his first thought is he's going to find the antechamber. He's going to find room 46 past the antechamber. He's going to do it. There's a secret room. He's going to find it. And in the hovel, where we saw his note on his bed there, it looks like he was really struggling to find a way in and couldn't figure it out. But that was at the time. That note was written way back when. He eventually found a way in. So this is him just talking about the levers he's found. He also found the still, and he did find a use for it. If you remember the garage, they're talking about Kristoff was late doing blah, blah, blah. There's a note in the car about, doing some kind of deal, whatever. What it looks like is that Denny Ravane had a deal with Kristoff to basically do moonshining. Is creating alcohol using the sugar beets and potato stores, giving them to Kristoff, saying you got to sell these in such and such a location. So he was running this business there, and then he eventually resealed the hidden still in the trading post because the deal in Reddington fell through. Kristoff's under his thumb. That's part of the deal he's making. And he finally found room 46. He took more than just my contract. So he took something, but in doing so, he realized he basically He led the trail back to himself. He basically gave himself up. He gave it away. He was the one doing all this kind of stuff. And so they fired him for that, probably. And what he was stealing was the mail is true, but in particular he stole some letters that he then put in red envelopes and sent back. So the blackmailer from the 7 red letters we saw, the one talking about, we have these, we're blackmailing you, and then eventually apologizing for the blackmail at the end, it was Denny. And you can see these are the newspaper clipping things he used to fill at the end of one of the letters we saw. So he was the blackmailer. The red letters he had managed to find were incriminating evidence that Herbert had. He sent back to Herbert doing stuff. There's also a door back here. So now the greenhouse is no longer a locked door. Or, sorry, a dead end. There's a locked door here. We're going to put this there. I have no keys. Could use some keys. This is a bad place for that. It's a bad place for all of these. This is awful. Okay. Den, again, it's gems. Those are all great. Observatory is always a good room. 37 stars. I wonder what I get here. Dead ends I don't want. Gem flowers and green rooms, which I'm making more of. We got chests, we got steps. That's fair enough. Commissary? No. All of these dead end. Let's take... I'm just going to take items. Hopefully there's a key in here. There's a silver key. Okay, so that's what I had before. Ivory dye. So I do have a chance of getting a vault key, but I don't feel like that chance is very high. I'd love a magnifying glass, actually. Still want to read the mail. Secret passage, no. Oh, I could make that go where I want. Let's take the dice. And the gem. So we've got more sort of the lore from this Denny Ravain letter. But at this point, I just need to find a more consistent way to get vault keys. There's 2 more, I think, vault doors I can open. 3 more? No, hold on. I don't remember how many I've opened. There's several doors I can open. I just don't remember how many. And where to find the keys, because they're not in consistent spots, but they are rare, so it's kind of hard to find them. Oop, already been there. That's a good waste of steps. Anything here? No. Library. Yeah, let's save myself some gems. Patio. Well, that's certainly going to put gems here and there. Gift shop, no. Gift shop is the most open plan, and since green rooms are more common, I'll see that patio again. At least I think I will. Let's see if I can't get like a dead end out of here, or maybe a straightaway out of here. Den. Let's get a dead end here. Courtyard. This really abuses the courtyard's special function. Okay, so I'm getting like good connectivity today, but I need something to really pop off. Garage? I have the car keys. What if I do this and then go back through the aquarium, make that my sort of destination? Hey, a magnifying glass. So if I find the mail room, that'll be interesting. There's also, now that I think about it, there's something I haven't done in the basement using a magnifying glass. I said I'd come back to it probably 40 episodes ago or whatever. Might have to deal with that at some point. So maybe I head down to the basement and look for that again. It was in the basement. There was this piece of paper with something scribbled on it. I'll have to double check. It was like really tiny, so I couldn't read it at the time. But I will have to make sure I don't run out of steps first. So yeah. A dining room will help if I find it anywhere. Don't want silver key. I want this just to turn right. Let's redraw that. Raygrim's nice. Alright, 17. 12 plus 4 is 16. Minus 5 is 11. Times 2 is 22. Divided by 11 is 2. 2 and 1 is 3. Squared is 9. Times 2 is 18. 8 minus 4 is 4. Squared is 16. Times 2 is 32. Divided by 4 is 8. Okie dokie. This is where I should have put the... Oh no, I couldn't use silver key there anyway. We're gonna use this here. Because we can get a lot of gems. Turnip is also really good right now because I need steps. No to all of this. Well, this is somewhat tricky. I'm kind of in a bad spot if I don't get a room. It's good. Veranda's good. There's more items. Although, I don't know what items I'd be looking for at this point in the day. Certainly not gems. I'm doing great on gems. Give me something that has multiple exits. Dining room is really good right here. Vault? You know what? I could say, let's take the risk that we find something in the vault. That I might find a vault key, because I got these two open. Oh, so I got two open. Okay, there's two left? Three left? There's a couple left with keys I can find, but there is a limit. There's like a limited number. There's not an infinite number of vault doors to open. You find the keys, and I don't know what order the keys come in, but I just have to find more of those. It seems every time I do find them, I can't find the vault, but who knows about today? I guess? No, I have a choice. I can do this. Kennel's good, because I don't have to worry about keys. Because I do... Oh, there's nothing there. There's a dog I can pet. Is there anything on this? No, there's just that note. Okay. Cloister Arena. This is an okay spot for it. Now the doors are unlocked, because the kennel lets me do that. Okay, green room. Throne room is interesting. Is that a good idea, though? It's all my gems, so I don't think so. Office, commissary... Let's try the commissary. It's really just these, huh? Well, bought the place out. Closed exhibit is badly placed. I could make an experiment today. I haven't done that yet. How would I take advantage of this experiment today? remove a crate from the tunnel. Let's do this. Let's just remove 4 crates maximum. I think that's what that's going to be. So if I open this door, make sure it's got multiple exits. Let's put the pool here. That's going to do it. Crate's been removed. And I can pump room. Be nice. I don't think I'll get pump room that quick, but conservatory is good. Another crate removed from the tunnel. Okay, East Wing Hall is apparently an unusual room. Let's make that... Let's make common. I want the hallways here to be common. Tunnel, I want this to be kind of rarer. I don't really want to see the tunnel. Lavatory, get that out of my face. Goodbye. That's easy. I don't really need any keys anymore, but thank you. Did I make an outer room? Yeah, I did. Entrance hall is the outer room. Yeah, if I find the pump room, I can drain the pool. So that's a potential avenue for success today. Treasure trove is good. Dark room allows me to fill in more rooms. A treasure trove at least is a room I want. Alright. New thing, I'm going to check what I've got. It's going to be a white chest with a wind symbol. So I believe it's going to have a lie in it. Oh yeah, it's a lie definitely. The true treasure of the trove is not in this room. Ah! Now there's another clue for us. The true treasure of the trove is not in this room, but that is a lie. It is in this room. Note 7, it's a white chest, wind symbol. So it's red, so it's a lie. But we saw a note that says the true treasure of the trove is not in the house, and that was a true note. Let me go through my notes. The true treasure of the trove is not in the house was in the blue chest with the sun symbol, and we saw a thing saying that sun symbols were already always correct, as well as a note saying the previous box in the room contained a true statement. That means the true treasure of the trove is in this room, but not in this house. So as I was speculating before, we need to end our day here while we have the blessing of the monk to go out to the treasure trove in the outer room to find the true treasure. That's what we need. Drafting studio is good. Let's add more rooms to this house. So I think at this point we only have 3 options, and the ones that are not that exciting for me. So vestibule, whenever you enter it, 3 of the doors in the room unlock and the 4th one becomes locked. I don't know how they choose. Like, I found in my other playthrough, like 90% of the time, whatever door I tried first was the one that was unlocked and the rest were locked. So on the one hand, you could burn through your keys, but on the other, if you enter the room and only one door is unlocked, but it's not the one you want, you go through the door, come back in, and try again until you get an unlocked door. Dovecote's not super exciting, but it could be useful at this point. Casino, this can get you lots of money, lots of other stuff. This might be the best one to take, actually, at this point. At some point, we're going to have gone through all of the drafting rooms possible, at which point I want this room to be extremely rare. I don't want to ever see it again. Patio, if we want. I could freezer now. I'm going to freezer now. Yeah. I'm not spending any more gems or coins. And here's the freezer. So if we were to draft a furnace really close by or whatever, we would melt the stuff in the freezer, which is all well and good. Which is all fine. So there's a key in there we can't grab. There's a letter in there we can't read. There's a key we can't take there. There are ways to melt this ice. One of them is, of course, put the furnace nearby. The other is not to melt. The other is a melt. It's technically melting. I think you can use the burning glass here to melt these, or the self-igniting torch. I think both of those work. We also have a wall of ice here that we can smash with our handy-dandy power hammer. And back here we find an upgrade disc, baby! And a note. The network servers are finally out of cold storage, or at least as many as we could fit in the surrounding walls of the grotto off of the East Drive. The last few days have been very busy, but I'm glad I was able to take a short break from gardening to help Randolph install the network. It was, after all, the least he could do, since it was I who suggested the final location. We decided we were going to store the 2 unused servers here in Mount Holly's freezer. They should serve as readily accessible replacements should any of the primary consoles fail. Denny Ravain. Admin key. This admin key doesn't work. We saw in the thing it was one of those that was deprecated. It's no longer in use, so it's a fake admin key. But yeah, upgrade disk behind the wall of ice. The rest of these we would need something to melt it with. But good news, none of this is required for the game. The letter is the closest thing to it because it does contain hints for a puzzle, but it's a puzzle we have already solved without the use of that letter. You don't need it. So I do want the upgrade disk to be used in, what's the closest computer? Laboratory. And hopefully it's another room I like to use. I've gotten most of the upgrade disks, I think, at this point. There's a limited amount of them. Aquarium. Oh, okay. That'll be interesting. Let's see what we get. Goldfish aquarium. It gives you 10 coins. Worthless. I'm not worried about coins. Starfish aquarium. It's a +1 star. Electric eel aquarium. This is a power source. So what this will do is it's going to operate like a boiler room, except you don't have to you don't have to do a puzzle. It's just going to be on. But what do I need to power? I've already powered everything I need to power for this game. This upgrade I would only take if you genuinely you need to power up a room and you are struggling. This gives you a secondary source of power. Otherwise, I think this is the clear winner. Starfish aquarium's the way to go. Get a star every time. I want to increase my stars. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't do that. Do I want to go through the foundation, try a few other rooms? Yeah, because I also want to go down to the basement. I want to go to rank 9 so I clear out the tunnel. I have a lot of dreams, a lot of desires. Package in transit. I have the magnifying glass. Let me look at the stamps that are in here. So this one first. So we saw Arch Ares. We got an industrial thing with the smoke. Together we weather the storms. In commemoration of the opening of the 5th Zone power plant, the Contessa. Alright. So remember with this sigil, what we need is a color on the outside. We know Arch Ares is yellow. We need the rays around the center, the number of rays, as well as the style. So we know the style is going to come from the storms. The number of rays, if you remember from the Book of Arindian History, Arinda Ares built a whole train system that was used in Arinda Ares, Arch Ares, and Araja. Now, Fen Ares tore up the train system for something else, but Arch Ares is still going to use trains. So we have trains, so three rays in a Y shape that are going to have the storm pattern around a yellow, or inside a yellow border. The last thing we would need is the moats, and one of the styles of moats is industrial. So we actually now know everything for Arch Ares. This one here we need to figure out. This is a place called Vera Shores. So whatever that is, they apparently travel by turtle, which is one of the amounts of rays is going to be that. Don't know if this is going to give us the weather, but it's a pretty good guess. And let's see, here is Mora Jai. So Mora Jai, oh, there's the symbol for Mora Jai, so we know that one is Mora Jai. The white Sea of Yore, so that's the color, so it's going to be white. This symbol is white. It's going to be seafaring, so it's going to be the 8 rays. It's going to be, let's see, we would need to know the moats, and we would need to know the style, the weather style. So we're going to figure that out later, but we can always brute force it. And last but not least, oh, we can't look at that stamp. So that helps us out a bit. So if Mora Jai is white, that leaves, there's a place called Nuance. One of the last two is Nuance, and the one of them is Vera. So Nuance and Vera are going to be pink and green. Maybe not in that order, but they are going to be pink and green. I don't know what I'm digging for. Maybe turnips. We also have Araja we got to figure out. We'll find out later. Give me something going left, baby. Pat. Oh, I can't spend gems. This is rough. Right. I just need to get to rank 9. That's really my goal, is get to rank 9. And then have enough steps to do a couple other things I need. I want to go down to the basement and check out the thing. I have to take the study. So we're going to enter. Yep, crate's been removed from the tunnel. Okay, we got 3 successful triggers. That's not terrible. Let's head down to the basement and see what we have on offer. It's still weird that this elevator faces the back. Do I want to end today in the break room? I think I want to end today in the break room too. And I think it was somewhere up here there was a... Okay, I have to go around to get there. There was something I needed a magnifying glass for. Here. One backup lever for each antechamber door has been installed in separate locations for redundancy. However, we have been told that the locations of this reserve system will not be disclosed to the staff. No, that's not helpful. There was another one. It was a map. So let me find a place with a map. Hold on. There was a map this way. Not going to be able to get to it from this side. No, there's one in here. There's one in here. That was what I was looking for. Looking for the map. And the map is on one of these dead ends. It's there. So let me really quick go there. Yeah, it was this thing. I couldn't read that. Buried floor plan is number 10. So I have to find a number 10 somewhere here. Where does it look like there's something funny? No. Probably not in the reservoir. Oh, there it is. 10. That one's tricky because the number 10 very clearly is not here. There's very clearly nothing there until you put your magnifying glass over it. So we're going to head over there, and we're going to dig and find a floor plan. Fun fact: in my main playthrough, the buried floor plan we're about to find was the way that I got the vault key to the safe deposit box that gave me the sanctum key. So it'd be really funny if this happens the same way on this this playthrough, but you never know. It also required a very particular strategy that I might not be able to employ. So best of luck to me. So what I'm looking for on the map is somewhere over here in this crook of the basement. It was kind of along this wall. Somewhere here. Is it close to the wall? Closer to the wall. Hey, we're going to add the Lost and Found. So Lost and Found will always have 2 rare items in it, but whenever you enter the room, you will lose 1 random inventory item. This is brutal. I hate making this room. However, if you make it early in the day, before you've picked up anything, then it's just 2 free items. So not bad at all. Now, break room, we're going to head... How do I get there? I'm going to get there around this side, yeah. Will I have enough steps? I might have enough steps. At the very least, tomorrow I'm going to start with 8 gems and 77 coins. Actually, I'll start with 10 gems and 117 coins. Let's see what we got down here. Now that we've cleared out some more of the crates. Can I get through? Kind of. I can get through here. Is there a note or something from the guy. Well, there's a key here. File cabinet key. Likely opens a drawer somewhere on the estate. Now, the thing about file cabinet keys, I'm going to say right now, is that every file cabinet key you find has a very particular spot it goes to. This one, I happen to know, it's a spot we haven't been to in a while. Your options are basically the archives or this one other spot, pretty much is it. I'm going to head there. It's more important to me. There's a spot down here. We have been passing it by the last few days quite a lot. Every time we go to use one of the Sanctum keys, we pass by this file cabinet. I think I even drew attention to it when we first found it, but that was probably 20 days ago now. So back where we just were, we were passing right by when we first entered this secret room. This file cabinet we can open with the key we just got. Now, if you don't know that, you just have to try every file cabinet until this works. There's really no way to know. You just have to guess. To the Baroness of Mount Holly for her own hand. Numeric cores. By the Third Era, numeric cores had fallen completely out of favor and were no longer being included in proofs by serious arithmeticians. This concept, once considered sacred, was now regarded as an over-engineered concept that only served to slow further advancements in the field, as Philip Wilkins once famously put it. That Philip Wilkins, always famously putting things. Steps to find a numeric core. You take any number with 4 or more digits. There is some serious landscaping happening outside my window right now. Take any number with 4 or more digits. Without changing the sequence, split that number into 4 smaller numbers. Example, 86,455 becomes 86455. Next, assign each a different color, resulting in a valid mathematical equation that produces the smallest whole number possible. The first number should always be assigned teal to begin with a positive number. So yeah, teal is addition, yellow is the subtraction number color, multiplication is pink, and division is purple, as we saw on the dartboard puzzle. If the result is a number with more than 3 digits, repeat the above process. The final number you obtain that is less than 4 digits is considered the numeric core of the larger number. So this 8 minus 6 is 2, times 45 is 9, divided by 5 is 8, or 90 divided by 5 is 18. Yep. So that is something we can do with numbers. How does that help us? Well, it doesn't tell us a puzzle immediately, but we should be keeping our eyes open now. If we find any puzzle that suggests a number in it, we should see what happens if we make instead its numeric core. That's going to be our new challenge. Let's head back up. I got 16 steps. I'll have like 13. I'll have enough. Man, that is loud enough that I'm sure it's being picked up on my microphone right now. Like, I understand why the landscaping has to be done. I get it, sir, with your machinery, but it is still very annoying. Will I have enough steps? It's going to be down to the wire here. Yeah, we'll have enough. Go through the bedroom. Gives us some of the steps back. Go through our 2 spare green rooms. It's very weird. And, oh, I can see the break room from here, so we're good. I think that's going to top off our day. We've done enough here today. I mean, we did a little bit of stuff, but it's important to, like, prep for some more puzzles later. Let's keep our eyes open for numeric cores, I guess. We're going to keep this tomorrow. We should be looking for more letters for that castle puzzle, though. And I'm thinking, remembering where I can find them. I'm going to try to make sure I grab those rooms at some point and show you. But we're going to call it a day here. And tackle all of that in another day. Garten Chateau. Yeah, a lot of green rooms there. Is there a new room? Oh yeah, we also got the Lost and Found. That's a new room we found. Entered a new room today. Which one was that? Freezer, I think, was the first time in there. Yeah. Yeah, good enough. Good enough for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've been Key of W. We also have my friend outside mowing the lawn. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you.